Welcome to another episode coming straight from Snowpocalypse 2026. This is Fave 5 from Fans, the show all about favorites. And today, for the first time ever, I'm having Nelson G zoom in to the Plastic Microphone Studios. We're one step closer to actually getting him to sit in the studio.
Oh
It's
yeah,
happening.
that's right. I haven't done that yet.
No, it's gonna happen. How you doing, sir? You warm?
Yeah, man, I'm doing well. I don't plan on leaving my house until probably Wednesday.
Oh,
But
wow.
no, I'm joking. Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I'm gonna go to church in the morning, and that's about the only time I'm gonna leave my house.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna
You're a
stay
good
nice and
Catholic
warm
boy.
in the average home theater. Yes, I will. Yes, I am.
Well, that's
We
awesome.
were
It's
gonna go
so,
tonight, but we have stuff going on tonight. So
yeah, yeah. So, this is an interesting topic, and it's
hmm
one that you came up with. So, I'm gonna let you tell everybody, all 17, oh, I'm sorry, 22 people now who watch the show, what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, so coming of age movies or coming of age stories, I didn't realize how much I liked them until I started like I don't remember what movie I watched. I watched something recently and I was like, that's a good coming of age story. Then I started thinking about different coming of age movies that I watched and I'm like, man, I love this one, I love that one, I love this one, I love that one. And when I look at my list, I mean, I have like 12 honorable mentions. But I'm not gonna pull a mark. I'm gonna just keep it with two. But
I
I don't
appreciate you.
know. It's just I just realized how much I like coming of age stories.
Yeah.
So I said, that'll be a good one. So I
Yeah.
asked you if you had ever done it. You said no, and here we are.
You know, I love it when guests bring their own topics. So that's great. Well, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get started. You give us your honorable mentions. Two
Okay,
of your 12.
so uh, I technically have three, but it's really only two,
Okay.
and I'll explain. So what I did was, in my opinion, the greatest what do you call it, coming of age story is Stand By Me or The Body by
The
Stephen King.
body.
And
Yes.
so I made my list coming of age stories, not Stand By Me, because
Oh,
there was
okay.
just no way I was going to put it on this list because it just felt too easy.
Right.
So I made my list
I did the
knowing
same
that
thing with
this
Porky's.
that this is like the greatest in my opinion, but I'm not going to put on the list because it's like, of course it is,
Of
you
course.
know? And I do want to mention that, we came up with this a long time ago, and I made my list before the tragic Rob Reiner incident. So this has nothing to do with any of that. I had this list, and we were supposed to record this like back in what, October or early November,
God only
and then
knows.
this tragedy happened. So, he's probably the best to ever do it in the business. And
Yeah.
but anyway, so I guess technically that's an honorable mention, but it's not one of my honorable
It's
mentions.
your honorable number one,
Okay, we'll go with
right?
that.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay, so my first honorable mention is from I think it's 1985. It's called Mischief. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, with Anthony Edwards? No.
No.
No, I know Mischief though.
Yeah, but Mischief, it takes place in the 50s and
Yeah.
it's about this boy named Jonathan and this guy Eugene comes into town and he's like a cool kid, but he gets in a lot of trouble and they become friends and they kind of help each other out,
Yeah.
juggling life as a teenager and um John Travolta's wife,
Kelly Preston.
Uh, Kelly Preston is in it. Catherine Mary Stewart is in it.
Mhm.
She plays Bunny, I believe. So it's a romantic comedy, but a coming of age story. And I just, man, grew up watching it. I don't know how my parents let me watch it, especially with there's one scene in it, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we sure watch it all the time. So I love
Yeah.
that movie. But yeah, still to this day, whenever I see Mischief, I have it on my Plex server every now and then. I give it a watch.
Uh-huh. Hey,
Joins
yo,
the
Naves.
Navy. Yeah, he joins the Navy, goes to he's going through officers candidate school so he could become a pilot, but he had a terrible upbringing. His dad was a drunkard and in the Navy as well, and he just didn't care about him. So, you really see a good character arc of him going in as this immature guy with a chip on his shoulder and learns a lot of life lessons
Oh yeah.
in school and becomes a much better person at the end. So,
Yeah. No, that's a great one. Deborah Winger, that one's she's really good too. Yeah.
David Keith,
Yep.
not Keith
Not
David,
Keith David.
David Keith. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. That's two excellent choices. You're starting off strong.
I know.
Um,
I'm good like that.
well, I also made this list, and then after it, I saw my first honorable mention, and it is a movie called Wildflower from 2022, and it stars Kiernan Shipka. She is the girl who the young woman who plays Sabrina, the teenage witch in
And the new one,
in the new one. Okay,
okay.
yeah. So you know who I'm talking about, the blonde girl. Yeah. Okay,
Kind of, I think so.
yeah. So it's a story about B, a teenager who is navigating her adolescence while growing up with parents who have an intellectual disability. So the movie explores, kind of her self-discovery of who she is without being that child um, caretaker to her parents, and it's really an unconventional love story about family love,
What's it
and
called again?
it's called Wildflower,
Wildflower.
and it also has this really interesting way of telling the story because the movie starts off and she's in a coma and you don't know what put her into that coma. And so she kind of starts telling you the story. And then eventually, where she learns she's more than just the person who took care of her parents, she's someone else. And her view of herself isn't necessarily true because her parents can do a lot more for themselves. She just takes on to it. So it's really great. Like I said, a very interesting way to tell the story. But
Yeah, that
check
sure
it out.
sounds like something I've never seen before.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know how I came across it.
Yeah.
It just showed up. I think it was like on, I don't know, Amazon maybe on Prime or whatever. And I was like, oh, I know that girl. And read about it. I was like, what the hell? I'm not doing anything. And I clicked and I watched it and I was just like, wow, that's got to go on the list. So anyway, that's it. So my second one is a no-brainer. It's going to be My Girl from
Oh,
1991.
you
Yeah.
know I've never seen that.
Really? Oh, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. It would be higher on my list, except it's such a bummer near the
Yeah.
end. And so it's set in 1972, and it follows 11-year-old Veda, who's Anna Chumsky, who's a hypochondriac girl who is living with her widowed father, Dan Aykroyd, who is a mortician. And she ends up having this really great friend named Thomas J., who's played by Macaulay Culkin. And they go from being like best friends who pal around like, almost like two boys, to her starting to develop feelings for him. And at the same time, Jamie Lee Curtis comes into the picture as a makeup artist that is hired for the funeral home. And so you've got that relationship going, and then you have their relationship going, and then tragedy strikes. And it really, God, it really pulls at the heartstrings. And everybody is giving their all in this movie. So I would definitely tell you that you should give it a watch. And it's not like a Frankenhooker watch either. You can
Right,
trust
right.
this one. Yeah, you can trust this one. Um,
I saw Macaulay Culkin recently talking about that, how
oh,
they like put honey on him to get the bees to fly around him and stuff like
yes,
that. Yeah.
yes. I also just saw Macaulay Culkin in Fallout
Yeah, yeah.
season two. I was like, Tina and I were both like,
Kaiser.
yeah. I
I'm gonna
forget what
say
his name is.
Kaiser.
She's like, no, you call him Caesar. It's Kaiser. Oh, whatever.
I
Mm.
love Fallout, by the way.
I do too. It's so good. It makes me want to go and play the game. And I've never played it. So, all right. Well, now that we've got the honorable mentions out of the way, let's find out what your number five is.
Okay, so my number five is um it's from the 90s and who was kicking more butt than Robin Williams in the 90s,
Right?
right? And this one is Jumanji, the original
Oh,
Jumanji.
yes.
Um, it's a coming of age story on multiple levels. You know, you have
Mhm.
the kids, you have Robin Williams' character, can't think of his name, but you have his coming of age because when he comes back, he's even though he's been by himself in Jumanji for years, he's still kind of like a kid because
Right?
he raised himself and um it's just it's just a lot of fun. I love this movie. I've always loved it since I was a kid. The new ones are no comparison to this. And Kirsten Dunst, the special effects in it are, you know, they're not good, but they're good at the same time because
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense for the fantastical world of Jumanji.
Right.
So yeah, that's my number five.
That's
The
good. And
original
Julia
Ju
Roberts was great as Tinkerbell in that movie.
huh? What? Huh? Hey, that's actually that could have been one too. You could have
I
thrown
was
Hook in
thinking
there.
that when you said that, I was thinking you were going to do Hook.
Oh yeah, I love Hook. But no,
Yeah,
Jumanji.
that's a great one. Well, if you know me, you know how much I love horror. And of course, this movie is going to be on the list. And I'm going to start it off at number five, and it's from 1976. And I'm talking about Carrie.
Oh,
Now, the movie starts with her literally
I mean,
coming
nothing says
of
coming of
age,
age by harnessing the supernatural power and killing everybody around
right?
you. I mean, that
Almost
is coming of
everybody.
age. Almost
Almost
everybody.
everybody. She does leave one girl. So yes, Carrie White, sheltered teenage girl whose mother is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs,
Hmm.
does develop her psychic powers. Another Stephen King based coming of age story. I'm sure anybody watching this knows Carrie, but it does show her growth and her coming into her own in this movie, not just physically with the beginning of the film, um, showing her having her first menstrual cycle, to eventually burning half the town down, like most young girls will at that age.
Ha!
Uh, I don't know, but I do think it's a really great story, and it's amazing to think that Stephen King can write these stories aside from all the horror elements to it. It just has, so much emotion in it, and you really feel bad for Carrie. And I mean, it's been redone, I don't know, four, five, six times now,
Hmm.
but the original from 76 is always going to be another. John Travolta's in there too, so, and I guess his wife Kelly Preston was in your movie, so who knows? At least they meet on my list. That's great.
I know Stephen King said that he wasn't happy with that novel at first, so he threw it away. Like he put it in the
Right.
trash. And his
Yeah.
wife was like, "Are you
Tabitha took it
finished
out.
with that?" And she took it out and read it and gave him some notes with the female stuff, like
Right.
because he didn't understand all of that. She helped him
No.
with that, and so he credits his wife with Carrie and basically launching his career because that's the first novel he ever published.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
that is a great one.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Well, let's jump back and now hear your number four.
Okay, so this one, I think it's from 92, 93, something like that. Um, it's another movie starring Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh,
And um,
is it Iron Eagle?
no, it's not Iron Eagle, but Iron Eagle probably could have been on here. No, this one it takes place at an all boys school,
Mm-hmm.
and the school is taken over by Colombian drug lords and et cetera. And all the kids that go there are prominent kids. All their, you know, their fathers are either politicians or bigwigs. And it's a little movie called Toy Soldiers. Um,
Oh, with Tom Cruise, right? No, that's
no,
Taps.
no, that's Taps. No, Toy Soldiers is with um,
Anthony.
no, what's his name? Corey, Sean Astin, excuse me, Sean
Oh,
Astin.
okay.
Will Wheaton's in it as well.
We'll.
And Wheaton. Yes, Will Wheaton. You talk. Jeff and I just did a. I say just did. It was last year. We did a Who Did It Better with Toy
Uh-huh.
Soldiers versus. I think it's called Demolition High, and that one
Oh,
had Corey Haim in it.
oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, so we did a little head to head on those two movies. But Toy Soldiers is it's one of those, it's kind of like a hidden gem. When you Arlie Ermey's in it as well.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yep. He's part of the military group that's trying to rescue them, get them out of the school. So it's a siege movie. I like my siege movies as
Yeah,
well. And the boys end up helping without giving too much away. They help thwart everything that's going on. So they go from being troublemakers, 'cause the main group of boys who are always in trouble, to becoming the heroes of the story. So
yeah.
that's an excellent coming of age movie.
I think that's maybe something I saw one time. Um,
What?
yeah, I know because honestly, it's Taps that I've watched a couple of
Right.
times. So that might be
But
a who
Taps
did
is
it
nowhere
better.
near as good as this. This is better. This is
Okay.
better. And I like Taps, don't get me wrong, but this is
Yeah.
better.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with your opinion because that's your list.
Because it's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's the reason.
I mean, I don't put things on these lists if they're wrong.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Let's go with that. Cap,
Halloween
what do you
3.
think? No. Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay. My number four is another little ditty from John Travolta.
He did he what?
Another little ditty
Oh,
from
oh, oh.
John Travolta from 1978. And I'm talking about Grease.
I love Grease.
It is so much a coming of age. Um, it's just fantastic musical, fantastic film. I mean, you've got John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John as one of the most charismatic and electrifying screen duos, of our generation. Uh, Not only does Sandy become a woman in her own right, um, Danny
Danny
learns.
Zuko.
Yeah, Danny learns what it means to be a man, and it's not everything that he always thought it was. And it's just such a great to going off into the clouds as loving adults. And
And
there's
it's all of
many,
them really.
yeah,
Nikki, Rizzo, they all grow up,
yeah, even I mean, especially Frenchie, uh, you know. But and of course, there's always a fan theory that goes around that says that movie is just a coma dream of either Danny or Sandy, and that
I've
they're
never
she's
heard
a,
that.
yeah. Also, the fact that it's a movie about when Danny is doing the race and he wrecks and he dies, and so because it's kind of like with the big shift in Sandy and stuff, people think, oh well, he's going to heaven in the car, and that's his idea
Mm.
of heaven would be saying a bunch of people do different
I mean,
things,
I've
but
always found it kind of odd that they take off at
mhm,
the end like that, going towards the sky.
yeah,
But I never really thought about it. I just thought it was just a little quirky thing they did.
yeah,
Hmm,
no. So
interesting. But
I've
we
seen
watched
several
this
people
a
talk
lot.
about that. Yeah, yeah, we watched it a lot, and I love the fact that if you watch it on broadcast TV, um, everything in the soda shop is blurred out because it's all Coca-Cola and all these different brands that they couldn't get the rights to once it went to broadcast TV. So anyway, great.
I don't
All
think I
right.
ever watched it on TV. We had the VHS and we just, man, we watched that over and over.
Oh yeah, it used to come on TV all the time, like on TBS or TNT, and it was just so weird because especially there's this one shot where they're in the malt shop and Danny and Sandy are sitting at the table, and there's a
Mhm.
huge Coca-Cola poster behind them, and so like a big hunk of the wall is just blurred out.
So
So
you had cable. Y'all must have been rich.
oh yeah, man. Oh my God.
I had three channels, so I didn't get
Oh yeah.
TBS.
We had the cable box that had, I don't know, 24 buttons on it. And so you'd have to put it was all rocker switches. So you'd push it and like go to channel three, and then the other, whatever channel you want, pops back up. Well, all right. Let's pop back and hear what your third favorite coming of age.
All right. That's my number three comes from 1985. Um, Michael J. Fox was on fire, but he wasn't happy about this movie. He's still not happy about this movie, saying that he should be making a movie with Steven Spielberg instead of shooting a stupid little werewolf movie, and that is Teen Wolf. Um, I don't know why he doesn't like it because I love this movie.
A lot of people love this movie. I love this
And
movie.
I mean, it's one of the greatest werewolf movies ever made, much less
Hmm.
coming of age stories.
Yeah.
So you have a teenage boy who his dad is a werewolf, comes from a werewolf bloodline, doesn't know it until one day he just transforms and
Wolf's
then he
out.
yeah, he wolfs out and then it goes from there where he's just trying to deal with becoming this thing and embracing it and becomes a basketball star and I don't know, it's just great. Then you have Styles is fantastic in it. He
Fantastic.
wears great t-shirts. So yeah, Teen Wolf.
Now, is Teen Wolf the movie at the very end when they win the game and everybody jumps up and runs out? There's somebody like without their pants on.
Yeah, they are trying to get their pants back fastened, and there is an explanation for it.
Oh,
Yeah, there is an explanation for it. Like it's not anything bad, and it's actually a girl because people used to say, "Oh, it was a guy was doing something inappropriate, but it was a
right.
girl. She had some type of wardrobe malfunction." But yes, that's in the. It's
Oh,
right at
see,
the
I
end.
thought it was
Everything
somebody
is
doing it purposely.
no.
Yeah,
It's at the end with right after they win, and it's slow
yeah,
motion. Everybody's rushing the basketball court. Yeah.
yeah. Because in another Michael J. Fox movie, Back to the Future 3, you've got at the very end, you've got the little boy pointing to his groin area as the
Oh yeah, because he's
camera.
got to use the bathroom. Yeah.
Got to use the bathroom. Yeah, yeah. So, all right. Well, that's a great pick. It was nowhere near on my list. It is a perfect example of a coming of age movie, and I'm glad you brought it up. But my number three is better, and it
Okay.
is from 1993, and it is Adam's Family Values.
Hmm.
Okay, you've
I don't
seen
think
this
I've
one.
seen it. I've seen the
Oh,
first Addams Family. I don't know if
yes.
I may have seen it. I just don't really remember because neither one of these movies I really watched a lot, you know.
Yeah, well, I've watched both of these a lot. So this is the movie where Wednesday Adams, which is kind of the focus on it, ends up having to go to summer camp. And while she's away, the new baby is born at home. And so she's got all of these feelings and everything. And of course, she's such a loner. And she goes to this camp where two of um, the counselors are just one of them's Christine Baranski, I think's her
Oh
name.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And just everybody looks down on her. So there's a group of like outcasts. And at the end of the movie, at the end of summer camp, they have to do a play about Thanksgiving. And this is the famous scene where uh, all of the kids who are playing the Native Americans, they basically take over the show and attack the colonials and tie them up. And she tells this horrific story about, at the first Thanksgiving, how they're gonna slaughter the colonizers and send them back. It's just great. And along the way, she develops feelings for one of the other outcasts who's like a nerd. And I really love it because it's funny and it's kind of poignant too. You've got the Wednesday Netflix show, and she falls in love with a guy in the first season, but he's a Hyde creature and all of this
Yeah,
stuff. And
some kind of monster.
this was just a kid, just a normal kid who, because of his home feelings and stuff, he was an outcast as well. Um, Christina Ricci was fantastic in this, and there'll be a lot of faces in it that you'll recognize. Um, the other being, of course, Christopher Lloyd is just an incredible Uncle Fester. So,
Now, is he the real Uncle Fester in the second one or something like that? Because isn't he like an imposter in the first one?
if I'm not mistaken, you're putting me to task here. They make him think she makes him think he's an imposter. And when it turns out he actually is who he says he was, but he had amnesia and didn't realize it was true.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's how
Okay.
the story goes. But yeah, that's Joan Cusack, who's just a wonderful
Oh yeah,
femme
yeah, yeah,
fatale
yeah.
in that movie. Yeah, yeah, great. So again, he understands Fester because you've got these three stories because you've got the baby coming along too. Fester goes to understand the meaning of true love versus what she does, which is manipulation, and also family love because he is embraced by the Adams, even though he didn't think he really was an Adams. So
Mm.
anyway, it's a wonderful story. I love it, and that's where it made my number three.
Yeah, I think I've seen like either little snippets or screenshots of Wednesday dressed up like a Native American and stuff like
Yes.
that. So that's what that comes from. Okay.
And it's horrific. I mean, she's in the middle of the stage. They've got the two um, perfect kids tied together. You know, they're pilgrims, and she's just standing there telling this story while all hell breaks loose behind and around her. It's wonderful. I would tell you to go watch it because not only is it a great coming of age story, it's a great
It's
comedy
just
too.
good. Yeah, yeah.
It's just good all the
And I
way
like
around.
Wednesday and I like the the Addams Family what you call it? Uh, animated one that came out a couple of years ago. I like that one too.
Oh, those movies, yeah. You know, there was a cartoon back in like the 90s.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and several of the original cast members did their own voices back then.
Mm.
Yeah, so. All right. Well, we are at the part of the show, the part that so many people just anxiously sit and await. And I, of course, am talking about our penultimate choices.
I
What you
think
got?
your word has like caught on because I'm starting to hear that a lot more now. Somebody said it the other day on the radio. I'm like, have they been listening to Jamie? Like, what's
That's
going
what
on?
it is. That's what, it first spread through Hungary. And then, it spread across the rest of Europe. And then now, of course, so many people are, oh, the Europeans are so far ahead. And they start saying it. So I do
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
have people send me screenshots. I've had like two or three different people send me where the word penultimate is used like in a story or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I did that.
Take all the credit.
That's it. I'll take it
Well,
all.
my penultimate came out in, let's see, I went to Fort Polk in 2003. So this was around 2002 or 2003.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
and his son, who is also Michael Sullivan, has to accompany his father as they flee from um he's a gangster, so he has to flee. I don't want to give anything away because people really need to watch this. But they end up on the road and they're going to Perdition, which is a town somewhere on the East Coast. And they, back then, I mean, it was kind of like that with our age as well, but especially back then, the dad was the dad and the kids were the kids. There wasn't uh, these lovey-dovey relationships, as I like to say, like we have with our kids now, where
Right.
you can sit down and just have a conversation with your dad or laugh and joke with your dad. Back then, you didn't really do that kind of stuff. And he was all business, and they just because they have to go on the road together, they develop this bond, and it's just it's awesome. It is a
Yeah.
great film.
Mhm.
Um, what's his name? Paul Newman is in it, and it's the last movie he made before he died.
Ah,
So it's Daniel Craig is in it as well. He plays Paul Newman's son. So if you haven't seen this, you need to watch this. I mean,
yeah.
this movie is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, just the way it's shot, it's kind of slow burnish, it's not like it's not an action movie at all or anything like that. But it's great. Jude Law is in it as well.
Mm.
So have you seen it before?
I actually no, I haven't. I have it on DVD, and I have the comic. So I like in a graphic novel form. So I'm familiar with the story. Um,
Hmm.
I just have never gotten around, and Dominic and I just did our Fave 5 comic book movies. And I believe we discussed it, though it was neither of our lists. But
Man,
it
it's
was one of
so good.
those, yeah, it's one of those movies that like people are going to like, wait, that was a comic book? Same thing with the History of Violence.
Hmm.
It was a comic book before it was a movie.
I
So,
love that movie too.
oh yeah,
But
it's
man,
good.
Tom Hanks in this role, it's in my opinion, it's one of his best roles ever.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
most of the time you see Tom Hanks and he's Tom Hanks, right? I mean,
right.
like in The Burbs and Money Pit and stuff, he's kind of he's
Well,
Tom
even in
Hanks,
Castaway, he has those moments where
but then you
he's,
have your Forrest Gumps, right? So
mhm,
the man is a great actor.
yeah,
So when you think of Tom Hanks as a gangster, it's like, what? But
right,
from the first moment you see him, it's like, whoa, that's not Tom Hanks.
right,
That's Michael Sullivan. So
yeah.
it's you need to watch it, man. It
Oh
is it
well, oh
is great.
yeah.
It's a
Have
great
you ever
movie.
seen Joe versus the volcano?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's it's another really horrific, violent Tom Hanks movie that you should see. Um, okay, so I can't believe we've gotten this far in our list and we haven't talked about a movie from this guy. John Hughes was the coming of age director in the 80s and the 90s. He made so many films that The Breakfast Club, Sweet 16. Um, he also made in
16 Candles.
1986, hmm,
You said Sweet 16, it's 16 Candles.
16 Candles, thank you. And in 1986, he made what is my favorite of those movies, Pretty in Pink.
Hmm.
Okay. And for me, this movie is made not by Molly Ringwald and her character is coming of age, but by John Cryer's Ducky. I the scene where he is in Annie Potts' record store and you've got that Otis Redding song that comes on and he slides in and does that whole pantomiming the song and dancing and stuff. That is not only one of my favorite Otis Redding songs. That's just one of my favorite dance routines in any movie. It's so energetic. But we really have to talk about Andy, who is the Molly Ringwald character, who has grown up on the other side of the tracks. Her
Hmm.
father is has had issues, and she actually falls in love with a rich guy from the other side, Blaine. And they actually have a good relationship, but it's all the people around them that, for James Spader is one of them, who just can't see how this can happen. And so
Hmm.
it's he crafts those movies really well. Especially, I was 16 when Pretty in Pink came out, so I had a lot of connections with this film, and it, sometimes it doesn't necessarily all have to work out in the end for people to have personal growth. And I liked the fact that even though she was comfortable with who she is, at the end of the movie she was confident that of who she was, and she knew that, basically after you've been tested and you come out the other side. And I feel that's what Andy did. And again, Annie Potts, she even has her own development through it, from when she comes to the end and she's dating a regular guy and her whole appearance and everything changes.
I think I've only
Sometimes
seen
it's
it
about
once.
once, yeah, yeah. So, but
Yeah,
Ducky is
I
by
actually
far my favorite.
before I met my wife, I don't think I had seen Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles. I hadn't seen any of those until I met Jamie. And
Yeah,
she we kind of got into an argument. If you wanted to watch Breakfast Club one day, I was like, I don't want to watch that. And finally watched it and I loved it. I think
yeah, it's a
Breakfast
great
Club is
movie.
great. Um, 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink or whatever, it. they're okay. I mean, I don't hate them or anything like that, but I guess because I didn't really grow up watching them, I
Yeah,
don't have this affinity for them, but I
right.
do recognize them as good movies. Absolutely.
So the character that I can't remember the actress's name, but the one who the loner that does the snowfall in the picture and
Ali
everything.
Sheedy.
Yeah, Ali Sheedy. Thank you. There's also a fan theory out there that says Ali Sheedy was alone in detention that day, and that all of the characters and everything around her were just in her head.
No, I could see that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could see that.
So okay. Well, all right. We are now at the part of the show where everyone is sitting expectantly, waiting for you to give your absolute favorite so that you can then get to mine. So you go ahead and do your first.
So this movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I think a lot of people have not seen it, maybe not even heard of it. I'm pretty sure you have, but it's one of those, we had tons of VHS tapes, right? And
Right.
most of them were actually recorded. So we had a neighbor who had HBO, and she would
Oh,
record all these movies for us. And that's how, and my mom still has all the VHS tapes, by the way.
oh God.
And um, that's how I saw this. I mean, so a lot of these movies would just kind of put them in. There was like three movies per tape.
Yeah.
And this is from 1985 as well. I don't know if you notice a theme here, but most of them are
Yeah.
from, the 80s. It's Jason Gedrick is in it. Okay, you know who that is?
Hmm.
You want to take a stab?
Is it Lost Boys?
No, Jason Gedrick's not in Lost Boys.
What's his name that's in Lost Boys? Okay.
That's Jason Patrick,
Oh, okay. Uh, I don't know.
the Heavenly
You know,
Kid,
which one?
the Heavenly Kid
Oh,
from 1985.
wow.
Have you ever
Really?
seen that?
Yeah. Like in the
Okay,
80s.
oh man. So the Heavenly Kid is. It starts off. You meet your main character. His name is Bobby, and he's kind of the cool kid. It just says the late 50s at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you don't know the exact year. And I'll get to that in a second. My cat is killing me. Anyway,
DK?
no, it's Henry.
Oh.
He was trying to get, I've been trying to like pet him and keep him on the floor while you were talking.
Oh, I don't let him
Anyway,
let him up. Let him join it. Can I
so
ask you
the
a quick
main
question
character,
though?
yeah, sure.
Isn't this doesn't this have like shades of It's a Wonderful Life?
No,
No?
no,
Okay. I might be thinking of something else.
no. So you meet Bobby at the beginning and he has a race or he plays chicken
Okay,
with another
right.
guy, right? And the chicken race is you drive vehicles towards a cliff, and whoever
Chicken.
jumps out first is chicken, right? Well, of course, Bobby's watch gets caught on the shifter and he goes off the cliff and he dies.
Yeah,
So, because he's been kind of not a very good person, he goes into like a purgatory
right.
and he has to await his assignment. And then once he gets his assignment, he has to go back and become friends with his assignment, who's a kid, and help him
Present
through
day, right?
his in present day,
Right.
help him through his struggles, right? So it's just once again, I can't give anything away. I want people to watch it,
Yeah.
but you have two basically coming of age. You have Bobby's because he's technically like an 18-year-old kid, 17, 18 years old. And then you have Jason Gedrick, who's oh my goodness, his name is escaping me still. I'm terrible with names. But his character, his coming of age.
Yeah.
And they kind of grow up together because they're technically really the same age or pretty close to it.
Right.
So it's funny. It has, a good little love story to it, and it's just a great coming of age, coming to oneself
Right.
in it.
Now, this is what I was thinking because I equate the character, the Bobby who dies and comes back, to Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life. where he has to come back and earn his wings, earn his
Yeah.
place by doing this, and he's not that great at it at first. Um, yeah, oh yeah, I remember this because they have the race kind of toward the end of the movie where it's the same
Yes, he
situation.
it's the same situation.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
kid goes and gets challenged to a race just like Bobby was.
right,
And
yeah.
so, and then
It,
there's a surprise little twist in there that you
mhm.
find out. So yeah, it's a great movie. I watch it all the time. Still to this day, watch it.
The thing that always struck me about that game of chicken was that the one who gets out last is the winner. But either way, your car's going over the cliff.
Well, they use
So,
old junk cars. You could tell it's just like some trash cars. It's not like they're good cars.
but
But
still, I
they,
mean, what are they
well, where do
stealing
you
the
get a
cars?
junk car? Yeah, where do you get a
Yeah.
junk car from?
So,
So there's
that
a
that
couple
always
of
kind of,
things.
you know,
There's a couple of things that don't work. Like that kind of doesn't make sense. There's a math issue, which I
uh-huh.
can't talk about without giving something away.
Yeah, that's
And
okay.
then there's also um oh well, no, that's those two things. But another part of the movie that I love is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is awesome. The music in
Yeah.
it is great.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll maybe give it a rewatch then.
yeah, give it a rewatch.
Yeah. I definitely remember him getting his watch stuck on that shifter
Hmm.
because it was a column shifter at the time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was great. I I think it
Lenny.
was wonderful.
Lenny is
Uh,
the kid's name is Lenny. It's
Lenny. Oh,
Bobby and
okay.
Lenny. It just came to
Okay.
me. So, yeah.
Um, as we know, I hardly ever do things the normal way.
Hmm.
And my number one is going to be the same thing, but it is such a coming of age story. It's about two parents who are unable to conceive a child. And as she wishes that she has a child, an alien rocket ship crashes into the farm. And
Ah,
yeah, and so the mom and dad go out and they find this human looking alien baby. And it's literally a gift from the heavens. And so they come back with this child who they're going to raise as their own. Of course, I am talking about 2019's Brightburn.
I love
Um,
that movie.
I love that movie. If Superman lost his conscience, it is a it's an amazing story about someone who no matter what love and attention and everything they gave him, sometimes it is nature over nurture. And this is probably one of the only Elizabeth Banks films that I can really watch. There's something about her that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But she is excellent in this film, and Roy from there's Henry, and even Roy from The Office, who plays the father, does an
Right.
amazing job. And there's so many cool things that happen. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, everybody would like draw the lines and then straight line and make it into like the S symbol. Um, he pretty much has one of those that he ends up scratching everywhere, and it's BB, like two B's backwards, which
Hmm.
Brandon Breyer is his name. So kind of comes, and just when he finally goes, it's just like there is no holding back. Um, it's just God. He has someone who like has a huge crush on, who kind of likes him back, but then um, some bullies embarrass him in front of her, and it's all of the things that you would expect in a John Hughes movie or one of those kind of things, with the aspect that he develops superpowers and not only gets back at them, but kills them mercilessly.
Hmm.
And
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is James Gunn, right?
yes, it
He
is.
wrote it.
I believe so.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the one of my favorite things is at the absolute end of the film when you're seeing news broadcasts that are
Yeah.
starting to come out of the town with all of this stuff going out. And as you know, Jeff and I are doing Sequel House. I would love to do this and make a sequel where somewhere else, maybe even in like China or Russia or somebody,
This dude's
there
killing
was
me, bro.
another craft that landed that they were they were raised, to be, proletariat or very, you know, uh, strict. And when they find this, they realize, hey, it could be better, and I'm going to go and fight this guy. So, anyway, it's a great story, and I love it, and I love the way that it. Obviously, Superman is the first Superman with Christopher Reeve. It's an amazing coming of age story, not just from birth to what he became, just his childhood, where he grows up and loses his father, and then loses his, adopted father, and but Brightburn is really, really, really up there. It's a coming of age with a descent into a monstrosity rather than maturity.
And basically, what he does is he tells the story of what so like in Superman, there's all these debates of whether or not they should allow him to stay because, well, what if he goes bad? He can just do all this crazy stuff. So
Yeah,
this movie is like, oh yeah, he does it. So
he
this
does
is
it.
what happens when he, loses his mind. So yeah, no, I thought it was great. It's a great
Which
movie.
is a and I think it's allegory, but which is a perfect allegory for when young boys hit their adolescence and
Hmm.
all of those hormones start coming in, their body starts changing, and sometimes they're like lashing out and they're acting different. That's normal for a human boy.
Hmm.
But now you've got a boy who is going through that, but he can pick up a truck and drop it on the ground.
Like
So
he can
it's
destroy everything he wants, anything he wants. Yeah.
anything he wants. And at the end of the movie, his mom and his dad don't matter. His birth
Hmm.
parents don't matter. Nothing matters.
The
And that
only
is,
thing I remember, my only nitpick about the movie was I couldn't understand why the dad tried to do what he did.
yeah, yeah,
And it's
because
like,
obviously it wasn't going to work.
that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that same
So that
same
was
thing.
my only beef with the whole movie. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I know we're watching a Superman Gone Bad movie, but yeah, that's not gonna work. So what are you doing?
right.
I don't know. But
Um,
people do stupid things in horror movies, so
right, right. And sometimes, you're not even really thinking. You're hoping somehow it might work. So I guess, but well, that's it. And I am really surprised. I have a coming of age movie that we did not talk about, being though that we're about 10 or so years apart. Maybe I can kind of see it. Red Dawn. I mean, it is such a coming of age film about a bunch of not just high schoolers, but some like junior high schoolers, and the country is invaded by Russian-backed Cubans, I believe, or Russian and Cubans who come up. I can't remember what it was.
Russia and Cuba, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And how these kids have to take over the roles of the parents, and protect each other. And just that's a really. I'm just surprised it didn't come up on our list.
I have I'm just gonna throw four of them. Way back, the way back. If you've ever seen that, that's a good one.
Yeah.
8-Bit Christmas. That's a pretty
Yes,
good one.
I
It
just
came out
saw
a couple
that
years
last
ago.
year,
Stephen King's It, of course.
of
And
course.
then Secondhand Lions were four
Oh
that were on my
yeah,
short list that didn't quite make it.
I love that scene where the two older men are in the bar and the guy comes up and wants to.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
yeah. That's the best part.
such a good movie. That's
Hmm.
Robert Duvall and
Michael Caine. Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine. That's it. Yeah.
What you really Jimmy Fallon said you basically have to say Michael Caine. Cocaine, like Michael Caine. You just say Michael Caine.
I love Jimmy Fallon. Can't
He's a
stand
funny
the
guy.
other one. Um,
Mm. We don't even
the
say his name. He's an idiot.
yeah, the one from Men Men Behaving
The
Badly or
Man
whatever.
Show or whatever.
Yeah, The Man Show. Yeah.
Mm.
I try to
Jimmy
remind
Kimmel.
people of that all the time. The Man Show. Go back and watch it. Now, women jumping on
Hmm.
trampolines.
Hmm.
Anyway, sorry, that is not political either. So I can say
That's
that.
just truth.
It's truth. One of the things that makes the show greater is social media. And you can find Faith 5 at all of these places. So go and find us and interact and tell us what we missed. Tell us one, oh, I can't believe you didn't pick this one, because we want to know what your favorites are. And by we, I also mean Nelson here and some other guys that are in the Plastic Microphone Studios network. We're a bunch of content creators and podcasters who are bringing our love to the universe. So check us out. We're here at PM Studios Pod on Instagram and X. And there you can find all of these guys, including Nelson's show plug.
The Average Home Theater. I am on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah, it's a great show. And he does a bunch of shorts as well as doing some shows where he can't correctly decide which movie about April Fool's Day is better. But it's still, he's a good guy, so go and watch his shows and give him a like.
Well, thank you.
April Fool's Day. Um,
Huh, what? Slaughter High is so much better.
whatever. Um, well, folks, all we could say every time we say it is that new episodes come out every Friday.
Unless they don't.
Oh, but they do. So be sure to subscribe so that you can catch all of the episodes. And remember, folks, it may not be the best, it may not be the most popular, but if it's your favorite, then that's good enough for us. Mr. Nelson, take us out.
Everyone stay warm.
Bye now.
Later.